everyone. Thanks so much for being here on what I actually think is a beautiful April day. Where I live, we got about 5 feet of snow.
Oh my God.
It was so much. And we're here today because we're actually going to make something called the blue whale, kind of go with that, the big whale or the big fish.
We got bola whales here.
Exactly. Anna's been eating them. But we're going to also talk about our success stories because a lot of times we sit here and we talk about kind of how real estate goes, what to do, process, and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of times people don't realize kind of the stories and the life impact that we have or that we get to be a part of when we're doing our real estate and what really truly makes us proud in our everyday life, in our industry, and what we've done and accomplished and what we've helped clients accomplish as well.
I know. I told Robin, I was like, every story, every deal, sale or purchase is a success story to us, to be honest.
It is.
Because we are helping a lot of people to transition from one place to another. And sometimes it's a lifestyle change, right? You start with an apartment and then you're upgrading to a home and then a family or other way around, right? So it's, I find it's always like rewarding at the end when you're seeing people moving in, getting them the keys or saying, thank you so much for working. Here's your sold sign. It's always kind of a celebration.
Yeah. My big thing is what I love is protecting them from what they don't know, or making sure that they're prepared for what they don't know. Because to me, I always joke around with my clients and say the only surprises I like are diamonds, which I'm willing to accept.
Yeah. Well,
but honestly, for the clients sitting out there, and when I don't like when they get that surprise, it either is going to highly impact them, cause them stress, all that kind of stuff. So
it's very emotional, right? It's like, as agents, we do get emotional a little bit differently because we do deal with a lot of things on a daily basis. But when you get surprised or have something to deal with, that the emotions that people are going through are like 100% impactful. They're like, or we're like, okay, it's okay. But to deal with another emotions unhealthy, let's talk about
cocktails. Okay, so the blue whale.
I'm gonna stop eating the bowl.
I know. She'll eat while we talk about the cocktail. The blue whale is actually a pretty cool drink. Oops, sorry. Hang on. Get off. A pretty cool drink because it's really not that hard to make. What you're going to do is you're going to take your liqueurs, so your creme de cassis, you're going to put that in here into your shaker full of ice, and then you're going to put in your blue
Caraco.
Is it Carousel or Caraco? I'm never sure.
The lady at the store said Carousel.
Carousel. Okay, we'll go with Carousel. Yeah. And then you're going to take them in your shaker. Get them nice and chilly. Usually for about 30 seconds. And you're going to strain them into your martini glass. And you're just going to top the rest off with sparkling wine, Prosecco, champagne, whatever you want.
Yeah, if you want something more on the sweeter side, sparkling wine or Prosecco will be great. If you want on the drier side, do the Brut champagne or Cava. And we already we made a lemon garnish with a big whale sitting on top.
Yummy.
What I'm gonna send one for a swim.
I bought these specifically for this drink, and my family's been eating them, and I kept saying, leave some for the show.
Yeah, make sure you don't eat the whole thing. Actually, talking about success stories, while we were getting ready for the show, we made the drink. Cheers. And it was like super, super green.
I know. So we had to remake it.
So we had to remake it. It's still not as blue as the photo as we were hoping. Okay, but it tastes a lot better than the first try.
Well, yeah, we dialed back the cassis a little bit. And our cassis honestly could be, you might be able to find a little bit of a lighter cassis, but our blue Caraco is definitely like nice and blue. But in the photos, it was a lot bluer, but it's a very nice cocktail. So I would say this would be a great ladies' night cocktail.
Ladies' night cocktail, yes. Headache in the morning.
Definitely,
but it's not pink.
It's not pink, but it's nice. It's actually
it's very easy drinking. I think it's you put in the aquarium, so I think it would be very dangerous. You have too many.
Great in those big, huge fish
bowls. Yeah, you can put actually like blue whales. To swim in it.
There you go. All right.
All right. Well, let's talk about our success stories as a realtor. I think, again, like we were chatting about all the stories we had with the clients, but I thought it was really cool when we were talking and we said, remember how we started doing open houses, virtual open houses during COVID? We just grabbed the phone and went into vacant homes and taped them so people can sit in their home and take a look at the outside, inside of other people's home, whether they were shopping or thinking of shopping, because a lot of people started thinking that, like, well, maybe my house does not fit my family needs while we're all quarantining, so to speak. So that was our kind of invention, and we had a huge following from realtors and industry members as well, who asked us later how we did it, and how, because there is a way to post them on the MLS. There was a link was provided, and I remember we were.
So what's actually funny is when we started doing them, they actually were not allowing us to put the email addresses in the comments, and we actually fought with the Calgary Real Estate Board and with the Canadian Real Estate Association to allow or make a way to make the link possible online so that we could do the virtual open houses, because that was our argument during COVID, saying they can't come see these houses in person. You won't let us post the link to let them see these houses, so you've got to figure out another way to make it happen. So that really was a success story because we pushed that change. We fought for that change. We argued with
I think everybody had to adapt to the change we were going through, and that's something good that came out actually of the whole process for sure. And we had people actually around the world. I had clients who were like in Europe and South Africa messaging me is like, oh, I've been watching your shows. They've been like, so helpful. The open houses, and who knew, right? I mean, and of course, after like the first two homes, we figured that phone just doesn't work.
Yes.
We got into, what do you call those? iPods?
Oh, the stabilizers.
The stabilizers, we got the stabilizers. So no shaky hands, the better angle, the wider angle for the phones. Yeah. That was like a changer. I still do all my virtual shows for people who are out of town calling on our listings and they want to see a place inside. I still take my stabilizer all the time.
Because it makes a huge difference. I've even upgraded all of my phones because we're doing so much more video. Absolutely. And that actually a lot of people don't realize, but with the videos now, the phones have gotten so good that most of the professional videographers for houses are just using their phones and stabilizers.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat. My other success story is what I love is a lot of people think that selling real estate is always about us getting a commission check, and it's not always about us getting a commission check.
If we don't sell, we don't get. So it's like, and if you're not happy, it's just.
But sometimes it's just about doing the right thing, and I think a lot of people forget that we're also about doing the right thing. And I know we had a recent scenario where we had a beautiful, beautiful senior lady who was looking at putting her house up, or no, actually she was looking at downsizing. And she had someone who was willing to purchase the house from her. And we went in, we verified the value of the house, made sure that she actually was getting a fair market value, and then even assisted her in putting that contract together and giving both parties a bit of kind of counseling on how real estate works so they could have a successful transaction. And she kept saying that she's like, well, you must be doing it for the money. I'm like, no money, just tea. Just give me tea. Because it was the right thing, right? Our seniors are the one who built our country. They've got us to where we are today. And it's important to make sure that they're still taken care of and not being taken advantage of because they haven't bought or sold a house in 40 years. So I love that part, right? Where we can actually go in and either counsel people on, we counsel lots of times, believe it or not, on what to do with houses during divorces, relocations. I have another beautiful lady who watches our show all the time, and she actually we were able to help her keep her house in her divorce, and that was huge for her. It was a huge thing for her as a single mom, and I think that's wonderful. Like, it's not always about making the cash. Sometimes our success stories may not get us a deal, but at least it lets us go home at night and look ourselves in the mirror because we know we truly helped someone.
Yeah, and it also kind of makes you think about the times, how many times we talk people out of buying a wrong place.
Yeah.
Sometimes people get very excited about, either location, but maybe the house not meeting their standards, but they really like the location, or otherwise, like they love the location, but the house, I mean, other way around, like, was beautiful home and they see only bling and sparkles, but they don't see that it's facing maybe the busy road. And like, oh, we don't mind. But again, like it's an investment. Even if you buy it for yourself, either you live there for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, it is an investment you have to sell in the future. And how well it holds its value, how fast sell. It all depends on what kind of product you buy.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I know you had a story when you had a person who really wanted a specific home, and then the buying completely different, which is not abnormal to be honest.
It's not actually,
but you have to point that out sometimes to our clients. Say, hey, you've been noticing these details. I feel like you will like something like this.
Absolutely. We had a lady who was adamant she needed to buy a bi-level or a bungalow. So every time we wandered into the homes, she would wander into one with high ceilings and she'd say, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. But then she would complain that the living space was too close to the public space. So the bedrooms were too close to the living room, which if you've ever been in a bungalow or bi-level, that's everyone.
Yeah, same floor, right?
Exactly. It's always going to be close. So after looking at a few houses, I finally looked at her and I said, you know what? You don't want a bungalow or a bi-level. You want a two-story with high ceilings. And we were able to walk her in. And as soon as we walked her into a two-story with 9-foot ceilings, she went, yes. I'm like, yes, this is exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes people, they know what they want, but they can't verbalize it or don't know until they actually see it. That's why seeing a lot of properties, well, not a lot, but going actually physically seeing a property to make a decision is very important. Because sometimes we look online a lot, and as like the new generation of buyers, right? Like we've been in real estate for a very long time. You actually been longer than me. Like I've been 16 years. No, I said longer. I'm not older. But it's because we have been in industry, like we can tell by photos quite a bit. But I still person who's like, okay, this kind of meets the criteria, but we still have to go physically go see it. Where a lot of buyers right now shop online a lot, right? And they making yes or no those decisions. Hence why the professional photography is so important. And when we do our measurements, we actually include the floor plans as well, so people can look at it. And it's not something done by everybody, that's just something we do. And
not all realtors are created equal.
Yes, that's why you want to interview them and pick the best right here. But it's important for for the realtors, to understand that we have to look for signs from our clients and give them the best advice, because we are acting on their behalf in their best interest, right? It's part of our fiduciary duties. Sorry, there's just the snow dropping from the roof.
Avalanches coming up.
Avalanches coming down, yeah. So it's not about the paycheck, because at the end of the day, it's about satisfaction of our clients, because we come back and from most of our business comes from referrals and repeat business.
It does. And actually, just speaking of the marketing, we had one time actually, which was I felt such a great relief of success with this one story. Is we had a lady who had listed a condo, and she'd listed it with another agent previously and wasn't successful in getting any offers. And when I looked at all the information, and I looked at the condo and I looked at the comparables, I was honest with her. I said, it's worth what you're asking, but we just need a different approach on marketing, and using our marketing techniques with feature cards and the floor plans and the professional photos and a little bit of staging, we were actually able to turn around and sell that house in 2 weeks for exactly the same price that she was asking for 2 months with another agent. So to me, that was a huge success, because it really, to me, resonated that what we're doing is right.
Yeah, sometimes like they say, eye for the design, it's important. Sometimes you need to move the furniture around to show the better qualities of the home. Sometimes you need to take pictures at a little bit different angle. Those things are all the ones that play a crucial roles and success
Absolutely.
of realtors and the clients we work with, And for the marketing, I am a big fan of open houses.
Yeah.
Last
yes.
was it last year?
I think it was last year.
Yeah.
And what was funny is I even had people tell me about your open house.
Oh yeah. It was during the COVID time, but again the restrictions were lifted at the time. It was a little bit more flexibility. Hence, we can have people in open house, but there's a certain amount of people we could have and such. And honestly, it did work out for me super well because the weather was amazing that day.
Yeah, it was.
It was right before the snowstorm we got the day after.
Yeah.
And I planned an open house with refreshments. I had some champagne. I had macaroons, and of course, we had such a huge turnout of people who wanted to stay in outside, and people showed up with kids. People would come with a couple, so was able to serve them refreshments and some of the macaroons while they were waiting to get in to see the house, and they toured the house with a beverage.
And it was a smart house too, wasn't it?
Yes, it was a smart house. They can talk to Alexa. Alexa, tell me about this room.
Yes,
we had instruction notes everywhere. So it was a huge success. We had multiple offers. It was $1 million plus dollar home. So, and sold super quick. Sellers were happy.
Yep.
They were watching me through the little camera at the front door. I was like, oh, we can see you running out of the door with the beverages and snacks. But
that's hard for nowadays. Hey, your clients always having you on camera.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I was quite, I didn't look put together the other day.
I remember her sending me her photo at the end of it.
My hair was the makeup running out of my, and it was like really hot day. Yeah, so and the fact that we did put that effort, we went and thought about outside the box. Obviously the sellers went and worked with us on it. They actually left for the whole weekend, let us to do our job, and they trusted us to do the job, and the job was done, it was sold, and everybody was really happy, and I was happy too, obviously. So
yeah. So those are always the great things, the kind of things that we do. And it's not always about getting paid. And sometimes it's about being creative.
Yeah.
It's about being tenacious.
We all get paid at the job, right?
Yeah, it's a byproduct of us doing what we love.
We all work, and our viewers, you have jobs and you do something. And I'm sure sometimes when you got problem solved or finished a project with your team, those are things you celebrate as well, just like us.
But what's funny? I joke around with people all the day because I have actually been a realtor since I was 21 years old. And I always say that
She's 25 now.
I always say that one day I'm going to get a real job because honestly, my job feels like play all day long. Like I love what I do. We enjoy, we get to hang out, we get to make videos, we get to drink cocktails.
I know, well,
we get to,
it's only fun as you make it.
I know, we get to shop and look at beautiful houses. We get to hang out with people.
That's the best part,
We get to be part of their most exciting times of their lives and sometimes some of their lowest points too, which is also that time when we really like to help people and say like, here, let me help you get out of this. Let me help you lift you up and get you out and feel better and take that weight and burden off your shoulders, which again is another great success when we get to be part of that.
And we get also to be part of the new agents that come in, right? We have a lot of women agents who reach out to us quite often, especially before they start joining the courses and kind of ask us how we did it. Because again, after being in the industry for so long, and we're both moms, working hard, and our husbands are not stay-home husbands; they also work.
I'm not laughing at stay-home husbands. I'm very applauding. I'm more laughing at the idea of my husband staying home.
Right? Your comment will be exactly the same. Sorry, Colin. With love. But we chose to do what we chose, right? Because we love, and that's what the thing is. Like people's like, well, you work evenings and weekends. Yeah, sometimes we work like for 2-3 months straight, nonstop, and that must happen because that's kind of what it is. But sometimes you take Monday off and you do nothing. You read a book, you might do spa, you might go away to Kananaskis for the day. Sorry, snow coming off the roof. So, there are that flexibility with the job, but yes, it comes with the sacrifices and some fun.
Absolutely.
And talking about fun,
I know,
right?
I was going to say prize time.
we have the best prize this month. It's one of the Robin's favorites. It's Alexa. What do you call it? Echo Show.
It's an Echo Show. Okay. So the Echo Show, sorry, I don't work for Amazon. She can eat her whales. I don't work for Amazon, but I am telling you, as a woman, Amazon is my personal assistant at home. Amazon tells my children when to get ready. It tells my children when to get up. It tells me when to get up. It reminds my kids when their classes are. It saves my grocery list and puts it on my phone. It shows me recipes. It shows me my front door. I can tell it to turn on and off my lights. I can even tell it to vacuum my carpet, turn on my fireplace, and everything else. I love my Amazon Alexa. It is, to me, my saving grace. Oh, and best part is it plays my music.
Yeah.
Which is fun. And even, too, is it helps the kids with their homework. The kids ask Amazon all the time about homework questions, what this is. Alexa, sorry, it's Amazon or Alexa. But it does all of that. So we're giving this away this month, though, because we want you to use it to look up your cocktail recipes.
Yes.
So that you can enjoy that.
Cleaning hacks.
Exactly. But so it become part of
our phone number.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll program it so you're like, call Robin.
Yeah.
Call Anna.
On speed dial.
Exactly. So here it is. This is what you're liking and sharing our show for this month. Is
show us some love. We are on all social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook. That's where we do our live every Wednesday. Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and TikTok is coming.
Sorry, can you say Twitter again?
Twitter.
Oh.
What did you think I said?
Nothing.
Something probably inappropriate. Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah.
Long Island iced tea is our drink.
Oh wow, I haven't had those in a long time. Hopefully we have no snow for that one.
I know.
Ultimate patio drink.
It is. Oh my gosh, we can totally do that around the patio. And we're going to talk about how to buy a home for your lifestyle. Because a lot of times, again, like we touched upon, what you think you want versus what you actually want. So we're going to talk about that, making sure those lifestyle choices are taken into account when you're about to buy your home to make sure that it suits you and what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Now, hang on. I did that with such authority and I still screwed it up.
The effort of this matters.
Feel free to give us a call, the number on the screen. If you're looking at buying or selling, listing, or just are curious about the value of your home, give us a call. If you have friends, family, or coworkers who are looking at purchasing a home or selling a home, have them call us to make sure that they get that advice that's right for them, that they get all the advice, and they have someone making sure that they know what they don't know, they don't know.
Exactly. And have time to plan.
Absolutely. Have a great day, guys. Thanks so much.
Stay warm out there, Calgary.
Drive
it's warming up. Yeah.
Drive safe. Those roads are crazy. Unless you're in the south, and then you're fine.
Yeah. Apparently you didn't snow there.
I got